And sorry, Luch, didn't mean to. And we're back on our weekly schedule. You could count on us. We are like a broken clock. We are right once a week. I don't think that's how clocks work, but anyway, welcome back to the League of Kyle's Rivals Not Stupid podcast, which should probably, according to the last Reddit post I just checked, have a couple new listeners. So if you're from that Reddit post, you got duped. This is not
if you're from that Reddit post, I'm sorry.
This is about our league and our league only. You might pick something up. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Don't blame me.
We'll have some pretty good talk at the end of the episode. I don't know.
I have my segment. I have that picked out. All right. So anyway, once again, got to address the elephant in the room. Lucio back from the dead. Hey, welcome back.
Hey,
He's back. It's good to have it. We have to have at least one Italian on this podcast, otherwise I'm not doing it. Anyway,
you're Italian, right?
A little bit, not
and
so much.
I'm also Italian. So
yeah, but
Mike is Italian.
I don't know actually.
I think he is.
With the child
his
named
son's
Rocco.
name is Rocco.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
have you met his wife?
Lisa's
Have you
definitely
met
Italian.
his wife? Yeah, Bruce.
You're right,
Capone.
Bruce Capone. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, but once again, now that the elephant in the room's been addressed, we have to address the gorilla in the room. Bruce is dead. So anyway,
Don't you
Bruce.
see I wrote yay. Come on.
Congratulations,
Last week I
Bruce.
put Lucho was gone, sad face. Now I put yay, Bruce is gone.
Sorry. 2020 is fucking weird, man. Anyway,
Strange.
but once again, interesting week. Some good matchups, some bad matchups, some lucky matchups, some not so lucky matchups. And honestly, I just want to get right into it. If you guys are really cool with that,
I have one issue.
What's your issue?
You didn't introduce me.
Oh, I didn't introduce everybody? Oh,
you only said Lucho, and you mentioned that Bruce is gone. You didn't mention yourself.
You introduced the man that isn't here before.
Well, Alex, you're dead to me, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, obviously, gonna run through because I totally forgot to do it because I haven't done an intro in the longest time. My co-hosts, as always, Al, aka Big Al, aka Sandy, aka Sander. Welcome back.
I'd like to congratulate the Atlanta Falcons for firing their coach and GM. Just it's long overdue. Dan Quinn, nice guy. Dimitrov, not the worst GM, not the best GM at all.
Sure.
But it was time. It's really a shame. I feel like I actually like Dan Quinn, and I think he was a good enough coach for us for the time being. It's just it was definitely time to move on.
He was an average coach with a really good, he had everybody in the locker room bought in.
Yeah,
which was you clearly is not a common thing, Adam Gase.
I mean, to be able to have everyone bought in after some horrible losses over the past couple of years, to keep everyone together and everyone committed is pretty good. So
yeah.
But moving on.
All right, so I mean, we can just get right into it. I mean, this is now, like I think we were saying last week, if I didn't mention it, I meant to mention it. We're going to start to see some separation now, which is interesting. The injuries are really starting to bite people in the ass. I know I'm one of them right now. But let's go.
DUIs.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
COVID diagnosis.
Game cancellations. Almost cancellations.
Playing for Adam Gase. All right,
well, I mean, apparently Jameson Crowder's okay with that.
He's the only one immune. Everybody else is a terminal diagnosis.
James Crowder's been licking doorknobs in order to try to get out of the situation, but to no avail. So once again, as we often do, we went 6-0 in predictions last week.
We did.
We did.
Good job. This is what happens when Lucio's not on the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have unanimous decisions without Lucio. So I'll run it down once again. Big 6-0 last week. Phil,
I have a complaint really quick.
Yeah, run it down.
My complaint is there's no fan mail.
We didn't have any fan mail this week?
No.
That's because nobody has any reason to fawn over us without me either.
Well,
yeah.
Apparently, someone was gonna. I mentioned this on a previous episode. Someone was gonna submit some fan mail and then just decided not to, and now we have nothing. So, I don't know if anyone listens to the show. I mean, if you're from that Reddit post, feel free to submit some fan mail. I will read it. I will read it.
We're not going to tell you where to submit it, but you can.
Yeah,
figure
you can
out on
submit it
your own.
to just reply
PM
to
it, yeah,
reply
PM
to that
it to
comment.
Dennis.
Yeah,
PM it to Dennis's account that posted it.
sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't care. You can do that. That's fine. And here's my phone number. Anyway. By the way, did the fantasy website go through a Halloween update? I'm just looking at this now.
Did.
I think it did.
I changed the skins of MFL every once in a while. Some of these preset ones they have, and I changed
that's awesome.
You should have warned us because I opened the page and I was sufficiently spooked.
If anybody else was better at coding, Alex Hackberg, then maybe we could get an actual legit page and have a bunch of cool stuff on it. But
can't be bothered.
No, now you have to pay for that kind of thing.
Apparently.
All right, so let's run it down as we do real quick, and then we'll go into them into detail with our biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, which is just a segment that everybody loves. Anyway, Phil beat Nick 119.88 to 99.68. Real stinker for Nick. Real stinker.
Yeah, not the greatest not stupid podcast game of the week, but
listen, sometimes they're not good. Sometimes they are. Sometimes you get it done.
Slugfest.
Yeah.
I say.
Yes. Next one. Joey beat Al 135.52 to 129.26. Kyle beats Thom 126.68 to 99.34. We guessed it right.
How do you score less than Nick this week?
This week was pretty low scoring across the.
But less than Nick.
Yeah, especially with minus points. Handsome Jimmy, aka your mom's favorite pizza delivery guy. Anyway, next
or Jimmy Pizzas.
Next one. I beat Lucho 142.18 to 122.12. Bruce beat Skyler. This was probably the game of the week, which I don't think anybody fucking saw coming because I was actually paying attention to this one. 168.36 to 150.42. And then the Bins game of the week presented by Fournette and Anthony Lascazzo Jr. the second junior. Whatever one he decides it's going to be this week.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Alex beat Anthony 123.98 to 100.54. So Anthony would have got 2 wins depending on if he had played a different opponent this week. So
I think it lived up to the Bins game of the week. I'm sure there were some other contenders, but
yeah, I mean, I
lived up to it.
I mean, technically speaking, Phil and Nick's game could have been the Bins game of the week, but it was the big dog matchup of the week that just wound up to be a poodle. But anyway, no offense to any poodles who are watching. Who wants to go first? Does somebody have it pulled up?
I do.
Okay, you go, Al. Let's go with you first to that first matchup. And biggest surprise, biggest disappointment for each team. Let's hear it.
So like I said, I'm going to keep doing it as I'm going to have the biggest surprise from the winning team, biggest disappointment from the losing team instead of picking one from each, and some of them are pretty meaningless. But I mean, I'm sure I could do it here since it was just a bad matchup. But biggest surprise on Phil's team, the winner of this matchup, I would say, I mean, he doesn't really have that many good surprises. I can't even find somebody. I guess it's got to be Teddy Bridgewater, but I mean, we already see this coming now, 21.882 points. Honestly, he had more disappointments than anything. So I would say that James Robinson only getting 10 is disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His team was pretty average though. It was just
solid.
On the Nick side, biggest disappointment, he has a lot of them, but biggest disappointment by far is Jimmy G getting negative points and not even being able to make it through the game because of his ankle injury. It just wasn't the week that Nick could have used that because Aaron Rodgers was on a bye. He really needed Jimmy G since that's his only other starting QB. But that's what happens when you only carry 2 starting QBs in a Superflex league. So
could you also say Amari Cooper with 4?
That was going to be mine as like
especially against
a bigger gap of expectations.
Right.
Sure, but Dak getting hurt too. I don't know.
How many? I mean, Cooper got 16 targets in that game. I would guess at least a quarter of those came from Dalton.
Yeah. But what does that even mean?
Targets coming from Dalton. Like he wasn't hurting for opportunity after Dak got hurt.
I mean, it depends on how you grade the opportunity from Dalton.
The drop off from Dak to Dalton.
Yeah.
It's like a cliff.
While we're on that, Lucho, you being I guess technically a Cowboys fan, I don't really know if you are anymore or not. But how do you feel about the long term? I guess not the long term. It's more the short term. How do you feel about the rest of the season for Dallas, and how do you think they're going to do with Dalton? How are more importantly for us, the fantasy options going to do?
It's tough to say. Dak is obviously better than Dalton. But
no, stop.
Okay, well then I'm done. I haven't looked into it yet. I was gonna look into like Dalton's historical trends and see how similar or different he is in terms of like what he chooses to throw. But he has probably the best core in the league, so I feel like there's not going to be much of a drop off.
Yes, he's been really doing those core workouts.
Yeah. He is probably going to be fine for that offense. The bigger issue is the fact that the bigger issue is always that the fact that their defense is, like I said, a quantum state. It's theoretically existent.
It's a 4D defense.
Yeah. But that's like, as long as their defense is still shit, as long as Mike Nolan doesn't know what the hell he's doing, the Dalton's not going to be much of a downgrade, I don't think.
No, I think as far as backup goes, it's not a bad one to have, and he'll probably who has him in the league? Do you?
Lucha boy right
Lucha
here.
Has? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd feel confident playing him if I had to, depending on the matchups.
He's got good matchups for the next 2 or 3 weeks too, so it's a good way to like ease him in.
Oh, so he's playing.
Well, speaking of your QBs, then who do you start, Dalton or Wentz?
Who's Wentz playing? Depends.
This week, let's just take a look.
Let's take a quick look. For the next matchup, would you like me to do it, or would you like to run down your own? Or would you want me or Lucho to do?
I do not want to do my own matchup, but Wentz is playing Baltimore.
Oh, then I definitely play Dalton because Dalton's playing Arizona.
And Dalton is playing Arizona.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Arizona
Cam
is out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Cam is back though. They announced that today. So.
But Dalton in Arizona will not have Chandler Jones.
Yeah, season-ending injury. That's a tough one.
Because
it was already that bad.
Yeah.
What was it?
Tore bicep, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bicep.
I saw him pull off. I didn't see what the diagnosis. But all right. So anyway, once again, that matchup clearly did not live up to expectation. I mean, obviously, Nick getting negative production from a quarterback who once again, like, not a great quarterback, but I don't think you ever expect negative points from anybody, maybe a shitty running back who gets hurt or something like that. But clearly this just shows Nick's how good Nick's team can be. This is the reality of it. I mean, he had to flex 2 tight ends. Do you really feel good flexing Cameron Brate and Tyler Eifert and not having a super flex in there? So anyway, I'll move on with that. So next matchup is Luch, if you want to do it. Al versus Dog, if you have it up. It's the top one on the page.
Yep, of course. I go by it because instead of Alex and Joey, it says Mike, Kane, and Anthony.
Yeah.
So
the dyslexia.
Yeah, my eyes crossed. So yeah, this really, I think the big downfall of this matchup was Deontay Johnson getting hurt. That's really the only thing, and maybe flexing Higbee too. But I mean, he's been good enough. For Alex, Anthony, it's like.
I will jump in really quick. The reason why I have 2 tight ends is because I did not want to play AJ Brown because I didn't know if that game was going to happen.
Right.
Meanwhile, that would have gave me a win, and I'm pretty bummed out by Deontay Johnson getting hurt again. In like the first couple minutes of the game,
when he got plastered when he ran like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, no, he got hurt on the punt return.
I just thought he got hurt on that play.
No, he took a direct shot to his back on the punt return, which sucks. But
that's bad.
And then also Keenan Allen scoring the touchdown, then getting hurt, spiking the football.
I still can't believe that.
Luckily, that was just muscle.
I'm pretty bummed.
So.
This was like one of the hardest losses I've had in a while because I should have won. Like there was just so many things that went against me. If Michael Thomas didn't get ruled out at 3:30 on Sunday and say he got ruled out at 5, I would have had AJ Brown because that would have been my only other option instead of Evan Ingram. So
I can relate. I'm in the same boat.
Oh yeah, I know you had a pretty
Yeah,
bad
I
on
was
their
gonna
team.
say.
We'll
I was
go
gonna say,
over
I
it. We'll
think-
go over it with our matchup, but
But then two wide receivers getting hurt in the first quarter is just
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, I think this week too and I didn't pay super close attention to it. I think a lot of people sat anybody they were gonna have in that Tuesday game. I don't
I think
know.
everybody did except for Tom, who he played Singletary.
Yeah, and I think that was out of necessity just because.
Well, he had the option of Singletary or Josh Kelly from the night before, so he already by Monday we knew that Tuesday game was happening pretty much, unless
Yeah.
something crazy happened. So
Right,
whereas
okay.
on Sunday it was such short notice that it was even
Yeah.
getting moved.
I mean, we had the reports of a Titans coach testing positive now, so it's like we didn't know exactly what was happening.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
But
and
then
then
on
what
the-
about
Oh,
what
sorry,
about
go
Joey's team? Yeah, what about
Yeah.
Joey's team?
Joey, on the other side of the field, Jesus. You have Joey, who I mean, like he had some rough games. Zay Jones looks like a weird play, like a desperation play, maybe.
He picked
just
him
to
up
fill the
like
spot.
He
the
played
day
Hamler
before.
last week too. It seems like there's like an odd play, and it just doesn't matter because
Mm.
like last week he played Hamler, and I was like, why? I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway,
He got like a rough game out of Antonio Gibson, which I don't know. I mean, whatever. But the big disappointment, of course, is Terry McLaurin, who he's gonna feast or famine depending on A, who starts those games, and B, just generally what defenses are gonna do to key in on him.
It's Kyle Allen for now.
yeah,
Which
That
is good,
cleared.
but if it's Smith, then it's not going to be good.
he's back to play. Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
good to go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, once again, just looking at this matchup just real quick, I mean, and like I totally agree. Like flexing, I think we were talking about. I think flexing both the tight ends for you out was like the right move to make there. It's just Deontay Johnson again fucks you, and then no doubt in my mind, if Allen doesn't hurt himself spiking the ball, even still with that, I still think you win this because I mean he was the way Herbert was throwing the ball around, and at the end the way that game went. I mean, I can understand there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks, but all right, let's go past this one. Let's skip. Actually, you know what, Al? Why don't you do me and Lucho's game because that's right underneath it.
Sure, it's not right underneath it on mine, but okay.
Oh, on mine it is.
So yeah, you won this by about 20 points here. So I'm gonna go with your team first, Dennis. The biggest surprise on your team, or at least best performance, it's got to be Jamison Crowder again, 27.6. You know, he's only played I think 3 games this year,
Yeah, he's
but
missed 2 games.
he's done insane in
Over
all of
100
them.
yards in each game, I think.
Yeah, so that's for a guy that you weren't really expecting much and being on one of the worst offenses in the league and one of the most dysfunctional teams in the league. That's a pretty good play there.
Yep.
Lucho, biggest disappointment. I mean, there's a couple here, but the biggest disappointment, it's not even a player. It's the fact that you had to play Jordan Wilkins and weren't able to play Montgomery, and also didn't play Derrick Henry because we weren't sure about the Tuesday game. So there was a lot that could have helped you out here, but
If
that,
I
and then,
had played, if I had not paid attention to like the Tuesday game or like anything about it potentially being canceled, I would have had Henry and Brown in, and then when Brown got ruled out, I would have put probably Gabe Davis in, and that's what like just kills me right there.
yeah, and then as a player standpoint, biggest disappointment's got to be Russell Gage, just not doing much of anything after he looked like he was going to be a solid flex play for the majority of the year. So
Yeah, especially with Julio out. I don't know.
Yep. Zacchaeus is the new guy,
Which I'm okay with because I love
but I mean
the whole Amita
the
Zacchaeus.
the Falcons' offense just looked bad during that game anyway. So.
Yeah, they looked lost.
Yeah, this game, I mean, this matchup was real crazy because I mean, you got off to like such a fucking red hot start.
Luch had 100 points by like 2:30.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm done. There's no way. Like, and like you had most of your guys going, I think, in that 1:00 game, so like
Lots
it
of them,
skewed. Yeah, I think the only guy you didn't have, I think, was
Wilkins.
Wilkins, yeah, because when you look
That
at this
was like-
matchup scoring chart, it jumps up to Sunday early and then just is a flat line for the rest of the time.
Yeah,
The-
and I mean, it's just it was crazy too because I was like at least 140. I was like, it's got to be, and I'm
Things
like,
things were bouncing Lucho's way early. Like DJ
Yeah.
Moore had that huge touchdown. Robert Woods had that huge touchdown. Miles Sanders had that huge touchdown.
Mhm.
After Miles Sanders could barely get like a yard on any run.
oh
He
yeah,
has that
Oh, yeah.
breakaway
70-something yard touchdown.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you had those 3 huge touchdowns all like within a 20-minute period. So
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it like you said, even crazier stuff too, because like that game that with Justin Jefferson, like it was really raining and they really weren't like there's nothing was clicking there for that team. And then obviously I played it safe and didn't go with Tannehill there too, who had to fucking doesn't need to practice apparently. So yeah, this one was crazy too. I mean, I got lucky again, but hey, listen, I'll take it,
dude,
obviously.
Part of it is luck. Don't sweat it.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, man, I sweat all the time, bro. You don't got to tell me about sweat.
We're still talking about your gains.
Something like that. But all right, so we'll move on to the next one here. I'll do this one. Here we go. This is Kyle versus Thom. And the final score of this one was 126.68 to 99.34. Whose team is this? All right. Kyle gets the win here. And even with Thom's injuries, I think we got this right, but I could have seen this going both ways. Biggest surprise for Kyle, I would have to say, looking at it real quickly, I mean, I guess Jared Goff having such a good day. I mean, he's been pretty ho-hum this whole year. Maybe even Kareem Hunt having a pretty big day, but not pretty gay.
We
pretty
saw
big
that.
Day.
We saw that happening though with no Chubb.
I mean,
there's a chart I saw on that point. There's a chart I saw that was like line adjusted yards over expectation for rushers on each team, like whoever qualifies minimum carries, and both Cleveland rushers are like the top. They're the best team in creating yards for their runners.
Yeah.
Stefanski, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just a real quick, I know I'm not doing this, but I mean, Joe Burrow having 4.32 points is like scary. But all right, so then for Thom, biggest disappointment, and I think you could go
a
couple
many
places
directions
here. So, but I mean, I'm just gonna look at Matt Ryan first and foremost, 6.94, and then even Le'Veon Bell, who was at the time on the Jets, but I mean, 7 points for him.
Back.
Yeah, and I mean, even Singletary 4. I mean, there's just a lot. I mean, Tyler Boyd came back down to earth. Cobb, I thought, was a good play. Chenault was a decent play, but just decimated with injuries, Thom, this week. And that's a tough pill to swallow, especially because Kyle had an okay day, not like a really good one, too. So, yeah, I think if you put the gun to my head, I'm saying Matt Ryan's probably the worst. Even Lamar Jackson with only 13 points, too.
Jackson would have been my choice for biggest disappointment. That's like
Lamar Jackson. It looks like it's been proved that he does have some kind of knee issue right now because he only had 3 yards rushing for the whole game, and they're barely trying to have
bad.
Yeah,
like he looked ginger on
it. There's something going on there. We'll see if it gets better this week. I'm playing Thom, so hopefully not.
God, Lamar Jackson on IR.
All right, so then
I do want to point out just for Kyle's team,
right?
I would say that the biggest surprise is CeeDee Lamb. Only because he's a rookie with no off season.
Right.
It's impressive to go that off.
He's just that good.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
His yards after catch or something like that was like insane coming out of college. And I think anytime you see that as a wide receiver, you know he's either A, getting the separation, or B, just getting the ball that goddamn much. So let me ask, though, both of you, just because like we're on the topic of CeeDee Lamb. Do you think his production goes down a bit with Dalton? Because he clearly has the report.
Sure. I mean, a little bit. But I kind of just say all the wide receivers, their production goes down, like 25%?
I would say maybe even less. Maybe like 20%.
20%, yeah, because the defense is still so bad. Yeah.
That's the thing is, like, if they have to chase points, defenses play off man, and then they have 2 wide receivers and a tight end that are great at running shallow routes.
They're still, as an offense, I think going to do exactly the same thing. It's just going to happen differently. They're going to lean on Zeke a little bit more.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, who do you think this benefits more? And I believe it's Zeke, but even maybe the tight ends get a little bit of boost there. Not maybe too much, but maybe just a bit.
I think I don't know. I don't think so. Not with Dalton. Maybe if Dalton was like a younger guy, like instead of it being a veteran backup, then that would be the case. But I think with a guy like Dalton, he'll spread it around the same way that Dak was. He's just obviously not as good as Dak.
Two things. One, Andy Dalton Schultz. Tight end revolution. Second,
You mean Blake Jarwin in a costume?
yeah, Blake Jarwin wearing his face like in Silence of the Lambs. I think anybody playing in the slot, because it's just going to be easier for them to get open, and he won't have to fit tight window throws. So that'll probably be Cooper and Lamb more. Even though he did target Gallup more than Dak had in that game.
Anyone playing the slot, it should have been Des Bryant. I don't know why they never moved him to the slot as he started getting older.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. I always thought that they should, and he could have followed a kind of Larry Fitzgerald path, but instead they just decide, no, he's done.
Deuces. All right, let's go on to the next one. If anybody has it up, feel free to take over. It will be Alex versus Juicy Swag. Juicy Swag. Anybody have it up?
I do. Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Alex.
On Hochberg's team, the biggest surprise, I'm going to go with Myles Gaskin here. Still continuing to be so good. Miami really slaughtered. Who are they playing again? I don't even remember.
The
who they were playing.
Niners.
The Niners, yeah. It was a score that none of us were expecting with that. So
No.
the fact that they were ahead that much and Myles Gaskin could get so many attempts was just great for Alex. I mean, the same goes with Ryan Fitzpatrick, too. He just tore them apart with everything. So on Anthony's side, biggest disappointment, I mean, there's got to be a bunch. But
I mean, David Moore playing a goose egg, I guess. But, I mean, do you really expect that much?
There's a lot. Dalton Schultz only getting 1.6. I think he got banged up a little bit, or he was coming into the matchup a little injured or something.
He was coming in hurt, I think.
Gotcha. But as a season whole, disappointment's got to be Juju, 6.8.
Right. Yeah,
he made a move for
Juju on a day where a rookie scored 4 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. By the way, just a little aside. Chase Claypool, Jesus Christ, man, good for them. He's fucking 4 touchdowns. Man, that was who had Phil has him.
Phil
right?
has him, yeah. End of the 3rd round pick. There's been, let's see, 3 other times in the past decade that a wide receiver has scored 4 touchdowns. Do you know who they are?
Oh,
in the last
saw
decade?
this online too.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
2 of them have been by the same player.
I saw the player.
Is Julio one of them?
No.
I saw
Really?
Julio doesn't score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Fact.
I saw it was the rookie list, and the only one I remember was Doug Martin against Oakland. Oh shit! I don't know.
They're rookies or they're not rookies?
No. Just
No,
anybody.
just players.
Oh, just in general.
Reggie
I
Wayne.
don't know.
Nope. So I'm gonna go. I'll let you know the one
Yeah.
that's done it twice. Marvin Jones did it
Really?
twice. Once with Cincinnati and once with Detroit.
Give us the teams for the next 2.
And well, I mean, the other one is Claypool, and then
Right.
the last
Who did-
one was, man, I'm messing up my own trivia here. I don't even remember who the last one was.
We'll believe it. We won't.
Hold
we won't
on. 4 touchdowns. I do know that Jerry Rice had 5 touchdowns in a game,
Yeah, but he's a bum.
but that's not the past decade.
Seattle Seahawks. Jerry Rice.
Oh, Al Bundy, 4 touchdowns in a game.
he made it to the league.
Yep. Hold on. Let's see. We got wow, a lot of people. This is receivers I'm talking about, by the way, not running backs, because running backs have done it plenty of times.
A lot, yeah. What was that? What the hell is that actor's name? Ed something. Ed O'Neill.
That
Plays Al Bundy.
I have no idea.
I keep wanting to say Ed Helms, and no.
Well, I don't remember who the last one was, so it doesn't matter.
Whatever. If you know it, comment it below.
Ed O'Neill, that was right.
I ruined the episode.
It's fine. All right, let's go past that. And then we'll go to the next one. I got it up here.
Sorry, where I was going with that is okay, yeah, Chase Claypool looks really good. He's a rookie, but don't raise your expectations so highly because Marvin Jones did it twice, and we know what Marvin Jones was. It could be a similar situation with that, but time will tell if he actually ends up.
I think it's just impressive. I think it's just obviously impressive but
yeah. All
right, let's go to this matchup here. It'd be Bruce versus Phrasing Comma Boom. Final score 168.36 to 150.42, which Skyler's got to be kicking himself because he would have beat everybody else in the league had he not played Bruce that week, or maybe he wouldn't be kicking himself. Who knows?
That's
he wants
Skyler's luck, dude. That's
this
is fucking shit luck.
All right, so Bruce
He's had good luck forever. This is finally the year that he has some bad luck.
Yeah. So with Bruce, biggest disappointment, I mean, Chark is coming off the injury, but I think even Kittle with 8. I think seeing what George Kittle is capable of, but that Miami game was fucking weird. I saw that score and I was just like, that happened. But yeah, I'm gonna go with George Kittle for disappointment for him, and then surprise for Skyler. Ooh, this could go.
Why are we doing a surprise for the losing team?
I don't know. I'm going off the script here. Surprise. I mean, probably Darius Slayton having 22.9. I mean, and that could have been even more had there not been that OPI call on I think it was Ratley. But I mean, honestly, this was a track meet, and I think towards the end of this, I mean, Herbert really picked up Bruce here. Skyler getting not great performance from Tom Brady after having a really good week, only 14 points. So be it, but that was really the difference. And then Zach Ertz, once again, laying an egg is probably really the thing that drove the nail in the coffin there for Skyler. So, yeah. I mean, 1.6, but did he break?
I mean, JJ Arcega-Whiteside had more fantasy points than Zach Ertz did, so.
Oof.
My boy Fulgham, man. That's where all the fantasy points went to.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, excuse me? Did that happen? But yeah, this matchup was crazy. And I mean, and then everybody had a pretty good day here. And like you said, and like 150, you score that, usually you expect to win some points. But I mean, once again, Skyler's team, this is what we expect from him. It could be up, it could be down.
You beat me when I scored 162. So
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, this is up and down. So it's all right. That's the last matchup. Did I miss one? I don't think I did, right?
Phil and
No.
Nick.
Did I miss it? Did we do Phil and Nick?
No, we did Phil and Nick. That was the beginning.
That's what we led with. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I blacked out.
It's fine. Burnt toast.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, let's move past that though. Kind of a crazy week, little low scoring except for the one matchup, but we'll move by it. So, current standings read as follows: Joey 5-0 at first, Bruce at 2 at 4-1, Nick at 4-1 at 3, me at 4-1 at 4, Phil 3-2 at 5, Kyle at 6 3-2 above 500. Who would have saw that coming? 7, Al at 2-3, 8 as Luch 1-4, Thom 2-3 at 9, Alex at 10 at 2-3, Skyler at 11 at 0-5, and Anthony at 0-5. Now, before we move past that, let me just look at it and get both of you guys' opinions. Maybe it's the same, but what on that list surprises you the most as far as now we're at Joey undefeated, and why do you think that?
Because actually, that shouldn't surprise me. Joey always gets lucky with this shit. Never mind. Kyle at 3-2.
Right. And I mean, regardless of the moves I think he pulled off towards the end there, I mean, even still, I think he won a couple games without Connor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even still, that's insane. Now, Al, same thing for you. Is it Kyle as well? 3-2?
Actually, the thing that surprised me the most is Lucha only having one win on the season. So
that's what I would say. I think the luck there for you, Luch, has just been pretty awful. Especially
that's variance. That's variance, baby. That's showbiz, baby.
But yeah, so that's how.
If we look at the all play records, by the way, of everybody, I do want to note that Lucho, you do have under 500 all play record. So I guess the luck isn't as crazy. You are 22-33.
Now let me ask you.
It's just your team has been.
Yeah, I'm saying internal variance. Like
variance. Gotcha. Yes.
Let me ask you with that, because I think another person on here is Thom at 2-3. What is his all play? Is it because I know this week it would have probably been
his is almost exactly the same as Lucho's. He has one more win, 23-32. The only all plays on here that are a little surprising are Skyler's. He's 23-32 and he's 0-5. So to have a 418 win percentage in all play but be 0-5 is pretty unlucky, because when you look at the other 0-5 team, it's Anthony and he's 6-49. So that's pretty crazy. And then also, I guess, you know what, that's probably the only one. Everyone else is pretty much in line. Bruce, it's lucky he even has a loss because he's 50-5 in all play. So.
Jesus.
I was actually looking at the potential points the other day of some of us, and I think, and not to get out too much of a tangent here, but in the standings, people who've missed their potential points as close to the points that they've actually scored is actually kind of interesting because I think Nick is like almost right on his potential points.
Oh, he has a 90.3% efficiency.
Yeah, that was that.
I mean, that's exactly what we would have thought though, because we were
Right.
saying he has a starting lineup that's great and 1 or 2 injuries and he's fucked. So it's like makes sense that 90% efficiency, that his guys on his bench aren't really doing much. His bench points are so low. That's really the big thing there.
Right, for sure. But
It's
like,
just gonna-
that's what we've said.
It kind of proves that what we said, his roster is very top heavy.
Yep.
Right.
The same thing goes with Kyle with an 88.1% efficiency. Nick and Kyle have the 2 lowest bench points in the league, so it just makes sense there.
All right. So going to the power rankings. Now, are these official power rankings?
They are official power rankings according to my fantasy league.
To my fantasy leagues.
We
So
will
we're
have an
gonna-
episode one day where Tom gets to debut his new
I
power
know.
rankings, but that's down the line.
I'm really looking forward to that. So, Thom, I know you listen. Whenever you want to jump on, man. That actually, I think, is probably the best
Well,
segment.
we
we've
did
had.
say that we had to get Kyle on first. So
Oh yeah, that's right, Kyle too. Those guys together on a podcast would be fantastic as
that
well.
could work too. We shouldn't have 5 people on, but yeah, sure.
Haven't you forgot Bruce is dead?
Oh yes, okay, perfect.
All right, so reading the power rankings off here. in
Sorry,
order.
if Bruce was here, it would be 6 people, so
Oof.
half the league.
Yeah, it would be. All right. So anyway, we got Bruce at 1, myself at 2, Joey at 3, Nick at 4, Phil at 5, Al at 6, Luch at 7, Thom at 8, Alex at 9, Kyle at 10, Skylar at 11, and not surprising, Shitty Anthony at 12. Which, sorry, dog, you didn't write in. You're only getting 1 this week. So, let me go to you, Al, because I said so. Anything on here? Do you agree with the power rankings? Anything you would change, or do you think it's pretty accurate?
Nice. It's pretty accurate to me. I have no complaints about this at all. It seems exactly what I would think.
I think so too. I think maybe I would put Nick a little farther down, only because his lineup is not great.
That
but-
is at
going
number
forward,
2.
it
Yeah,
might
I
be a
really
little-
like this. I think this is right.
I think I'm giving you guys the opportunity to tell me that I'm a little too high. So Luch, go ahead.
Oh,
Anything
anything I would change?
Yeah. Or you pretty much fine
I
with
should
that.
probably be number 1, but I mean,
Now,
otherwise.
that's a little bit of nepotism, isn't it? Anyway, but all right.
How do you know about
So-
my Uncle Nepo?
He sold me a hat once. Anyway, we'll go past that. We're gonna go to the playoff odds. We'll go to the playoff odds now.
Fantasy Pros playoff odds.
Fantasy Pros playoff odds, not a sponsor. Maybe is a sponsor. Who knows?
It's
So we
definitely
got-
not a sponsor.
So we got Bruce at 98%, Joey at 90%, myself at 88%, Nick at 79%. Oh wait, never mind. Anyway, Al at 55, Thom at 51, Phil at 47. That's actually kind of surprising. Kyle at 42, Luch at 31, Alex at 16, Skylar at 2%, and Anthony less than 1%.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see Nick only have 79, being 4-1, but I guess I understand it because of
This takes into account his rest of season power
Right.
ranking. So
interesting. Yeah, I mean, once again, that's pretty much in line with the power rankings there. So I
Fantasy
think,
Pros also sucks at these because Joey had like a 20% or 15% like just a couple weeks ago, and now he's 90%. So
Right.
a couple wins that they weren't expecting, all of a sudden his team is amazing.
Yeah.
I believe they call it the Mike Davis factor or something
Yes.
like that. I don't know, but all right, that's cool. All right, so once again, we're past the actual play. Now we're getting in to the meat and the potatoes, the trades. The trades. Everybody loves the trades. So I'm gonna read them all. I'm gonna read them off in order, and I'm gonna
In
start
order
with,
of how I wrote them.
Yeah, it's
Which
fine. I don't know
was
what order
really-
they're in.
It was order of, I guess, what happened earlier, and then I just moved your second trade to be next to your first trade.
Yeah. So, all right. So my first trade here, I traded a 2022 future fourth, which was Al's, Skylar for 35 fab. Just
Sure.
wanted some more fab. Wanted some more
Okay.
fab. I think that was a little bit of an overreaction of mine because I paid $20 for Jeff Smith because I thought everybody would bid him. But whatever, I got some fab app, so be it. Then the next one, I love that you put the money in there too. I traded Miko Hardman and 69 fab to Bruce for Hunter Renfro for a 2022 third, a 2022 fourth, which were both Bruce's, and 69 fab. Now, the main thing in this trade is both
Nice.
getting 69 fab. Right. That was what I wanted to do the trade for, but no, but really, I just wanted to diversify the team a little bit. I know Bruce probably wins that trade a little bit, but I like Renfro a little more than a lot of people do. But realistically, if Hardman, even if Hardman's pretty good moving forward, with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on the team, I don't see myself ever playing him. So I'll let you guys here. I'll let Luch, if you want to, you can comment on this. What you think?
That's exactly what Alex and I said before we started recording was maybe the Chiefs are the only team that you might feel comfortable playing all three of them, but even then, that's a tough one. But yeah, you're right. I think you might have gotten a little less back than you should have. But I also like Hunter Renfro, so right now they're both kind of hope.
I think the main issue I have with this is like I don't think there was any reason to sell Mecole Hardman, even if you were not planning on ever starting him with these other guys. Just have the guy, hold on to him. Value can go up later. Like I don't really see his value going down from what you just got. So I think it just you could have been more patient and done it. But I mean, if Renfro, if you feel like Renfro helps you now, sure.
Yeah,
it's not like that outlandish of a trade to.
No. I also think the trade, like you said, it becomes a little bit more tolerable seeing that I have Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. So it's like, oh, I get the logic. I mean, for me, like you said, and we've said it before, in a COVID season, if I can plug and play a guy and even have a guy for the future that I do like, it helps me there. And then the picks are obviously, the picks. So,
what's funny is
could be anything.
Made this trade and he immediately started Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, I found that to be strange. I don't know who else he could have played, but I thought that was a little odd. I think he had 8 points, 7 points.
Take a look real quick. 7 points, I think. I'm gonna take a look and see if there was anyone else on this team that would have been better.
Yeah.
If I can remember where that is. Here we go. Weekly results. Go down to Bruce's team. Mecole Hardman could have been. Oh, he didn't start Stephon Diggs because of the Tuesday game. That was really the big thing. And then Ruggs. He could have played Ruggs. I understand why he wouldn't coming off the injury and could have played Wall. He could be flexing two tight end or flexing another tight end with Waller.
There was options there. I mean,
you know what? I probably would have definitely started Waller over Mecole Hardman, so I'm a little surprised there that the other two I can get. I can get not playing a guy on Tuesday, and I can get not playing Ruggs, not feeling comfortable knowing how healthy he is. But Waller I would have played over Hardman. It's just a little interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to the next one. Al trades a 2021 second round pick of Anthony's, which is going to be, I'm just going to say, will be the 13th pick in that draft. A 2022 third round pick of Lucho's to Skylar for a 2022 first round pick of Bruce's. Now, this, I'm just going to immediately, if you want to talk about it, feel free, or do you just want to immediately go into the next
Sure,
trade?
I could talk about it. I kind of spoke on it last week when I was getting a little frustrated of no one accepting this trade.
Right.
I do think that Skylar wins this trade if you go by just this by itself. I think Skylar wins the trade because the 13th pick a year early I think is better than a 2022 first, regardless of who it is, because it's just so far out to project. We don't even know how that draft class is really going to be. Sure, we can take guesses, but a lot is going to change from now till then. So I think just getting a guy earlier. Now, Skylar himself making this trade, I don't know if he gets as much of an advantage from it as someone else would have, because I don't know how much getting a guy a year early is going to help him next year. But a lot of other teams too, even regardless, I think he wins this trade, but other teams could have got an even better advantage.
I also think too, just on a side note, that having that pick is good because that was the Rager pick this year. I think that's a good trade asset to have. If you want to move up to go get somebody, that's a great trade asset.
Well, sure. Later, once we're close to the draft, that pick will be a lot more valuable, and that's another thing too. I think I'm judging this more as a player standpoint, whereas you could say that I won the pick if you're judging it based on a perceived value standpoint. Because
right.
The exact reason why I made the exact reason why I made the trade is for perceived value, despite my own value saying this doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with
No.
you. I think he came out on top on that a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
this is also in context of the next one. But yeah,
Well,
having the 13th pick in the first round essentially.
what's
Right.
funny is that pretty much the teams that agreed with me that they think that the person getting the 13th pick in 2021 is better than whatever first round pick in 2022. All its people that agreed with me don't have a 2022 first. So it makes sense that the people that are willing to move those picks are kind of the people that don't value this
Understand
first round.
that, yeah, or at
Yeah.
least
I
agree
would've-
with that.
Had I had that, I mean, I think we've all said it. I think we both agree that I would have done that. I know.
Yeah,
Luch,
and Lucho was saying the
Hell
same
yeah, I
thing.
would have. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I would have done that. Are you kidding me? With that pick next year, you can probably get a day one starter.
Yeah, because that's usually seems like that's the wide receiver in the draft that falls a bit.
Well,
That's,
at least
like,
yeah.
with
bigger.
at least with these past two drafts, because 2020 was stacked and 2021 is stacked.
Right. I totally
But in
agree.
Wide
2020,
receivers,
in
so.
2021, you're gonna have it. 2021 is gonna be pretty solid, and you're gonna have more quarterbacks that are gonna go too.
Mhm.
There might. I actually right now, if I had to guess, I think there's 3 quarterbacks just like this year. I think it's going to be Lawrence and Fields at the top, just like how Burrow and Tua were at the top.
then
I would
Trey
say that
Lance.
Lawrence and Fields are a better combo than Burrow and Tua. But then Trey Lance too, which he's probably going to go right around where Herbert went. I mean, maybe in our league he goes a couple picks earlier because people see what Mike just got from Herbert out of the 10th, that they know they need to take a QB. But I would say if, like, say next year was our first rookie draft for our Dynasty League, I think it would end up being exactly the same, where Lance goes in the late first.
I think
the
you
difference
got
to me,
guys like Brock Purdy that can sneak in there
yes,
too.
yeah, I don't know if those guys sneak into the first. We'll see what happens with this college season.
I think you also
Maybe
saw
Kyle
too
Trask is a guy.
with somebody
that,
like myself with the Jordan Love pick too. I think people might be a little more hesitant to kind of reach for a guy like that because I think everybody's like, well, clearly it's Rodgers' time's getting to end. It's like, well, no, it's not actually. But yeah, I mean, I actually, something we don't say on this podcast a lot. Good trade for Skyler. Good trade for Skyler.
nice.
Good trade for both
That's what
of
I
you
was
guys.
when he was the last person left that I tried every single other person that had a first round pick that made sense. Like, obviously I'm not gonna. I asked Anthony anyway, but obviously I wasn't expecting Anthony to make the move because most likely his pick is still going to be early. Like, I still don't like projecting this far out and taking it as a real like sure thing value, because Anthony's team could all of a sudden turn around. Look at what happened with Phil's team. Look at what happened with even Kyle's team now, where we thought he was going to be one of the worst teams, and he's right now sitting in a playoff spot. But I tried everybody else and nobody else would make the move. So with Skyler, I was really telling him, I was like, hey man, if I was you, I'd be making this trade in a heartbeat. Like, that's kind of where I was like showing him Devi rankings. I was showing him like everything I was thinking, because I was like, normally I would never want to do this, but I was doing it for my next trade.
Right. So speaking of which, this is why I think this is a great trade for both of you guys, you and Skyler, because I think this trade is really good for you. So you trade a 2022 first round pick to Bruce and a 2022 first round pick, which is mine, to Bruce for AJ Brown. Now I'm going to let you talk on it, because I think we were saying last week that he could be number 1, number 2 dynasty wide receiver. I think that's what you were saying last week, depending on who you ask.
He has the potential to be the number 1 wide receiver. As of right now, he's not viewed that because the new shiny DK Metcalf is the thing.
Yeah.
But
he's so good.
When we talk about like what happened with AJ Brown at the end of last season, he was basically unattainable in dynasty leagues because of the hype that was surrounding him. So the fact that I could get him for 2 firsts, I think, is a steal.
It cooled between him getting hurt and the time it's been. It cooled it just enough.
Yeah, exactly. And then also the fact that they're 2022 first. Like, I don't care about 2022 firsts, you know.
That year hasn't happened yet.
I don't know what that draft class is going to be.
The
like,
world might end before then.
We could say some things. There's one more thing I just wanted to touch on about the 2021 class. I was mentioning just with, like, I think there'll be the 3 QBs. There's going to be less running backs, most likely, because there were 5. That was a decent amount of running backs, and now it's looking like Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, and Chuba Hubbard are the 3 that will probably be in the first. Maybe we'll get another guy sneak in, depending on how they do, or because running backs are so desirable in fantasy and there's not too many of them.
I mean, did Vaughn go in the first for us last year?
No, he went second pick of the second. But also there's tight ends this year. There's 3 good tight ends. I don't know if any of them.
Florida. Holy shit!
Well, Kyle Pitts, yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Brevin Jordan is also good, and then Freiermuth is also good. But I don't know if any of those guys. I don't think like a one tight end league with no tight end premium. I don't know if those guys sneak into the first in our league, especially because we've kind of seen that tight ends aren't even that valuable for like how much you got Kelsey for. I think is pretty much saying that tight ends are not that valuable.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think any will sneak into the first in our draft, but we'll see.
If you have multiples like some of these teams do, I think you could potentially see it because I think we've seen what a dumpster fire the tight ends are outside of like the top 3-4 guys.
It might depend on the team itself because the problem with tight ends is it takes them so long to develop. Like we look at Hawkinson and Fant, who were like
perfect example.
Such high NFL draft picks, and we're seeing something from Fant. We're actually seeing something from Hawkinson now too, but they're not really guys you feel. I mean, maybe Fant you could feel comfortable starting. Hawkinson, I don't think I'd feel that great starting him.
Not every week.
And then there's other ones like.
But what makes Hawkinson great though doesn't really translate to fantasy. You know what I mean? Like,
and just tight ends themselves, every single tight end pretty much that comes in the league, with the exception of maybe some of these ones that are more like wide receivers, are the guys that they take a long time to develop and learn the route tree, since you don't know too much of that in college.
You essentially have to learn the intricacies of two positions because they have to learn blocking assignments and shit too.
Yep. So, and teams value those guys blocking much higher on a real life football standpoint. So that's what they obviously prioritize when they come in the league.
Why do you think Garrett Selleck has a ring and Brent Selleck doesn't?
Yes, exactly. So, all right. Well, back to this trade though. I do think this is a steal. I don't think AJ Brown in a couple weeks is going to be worth. Like, I don't think you would be able to get him for 2 firsts. That's really what it is. It's What's funny about this is I was making this move more because I thought I was picking up value by making it. I thought I was getting a deal from it. I actually feel even better now being reminded how good AJ Brown is by watching that game yesterday. But I was more making this move because I thought AJ Brown would be a good trade piece for another major move I was thinking about doing. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be willing to move AJ Brown now for what I thought I was going to move him for, because I think he's worth way more than I even just thought a week ago. So
I think you got yourself a top 6 guy for the next maybe 8 years.
It makes it so easy that I just don't have to worry about this position.
I love the trade for multiple reasons, but I think especially too because they're future first. They're not this year's first. So you have time to plan and make another decision. And then honestly though, like I've always said, I think
who is that?
Rocco, what's up?
Your equivalent of Rocco.
Good job, Alex.
Thanks.
Look at the camera, Izzy. God damn it.
Anyway, I think I've always said with draft picks and stuff, draft picks are they're hope, and that's really all they can be. I think to a team that wants to pivot or a team that has nothing to root for other than hope, like if you have 2 future firsts and you can say this guy is a stud, I know what I have now. I think anytime you make that deal, it's a no-brainer every time.
Also think about what we have a pending trade right now. It's about to go through the pipeline. Apparently, I trade AJ Brown to Lucho for $8.
Oh, wow. This is like that book in the Page Master where if you write it, it happens.
Interesting. What I was going to say too is...
No, trade didn't go through the league, sorry.
What I was going to say too about this is look at how I was able to get those first-round picks to begin with. Like, I got one for Tyrod Taylor, and I got another one for, what did it end up being? How did I get that first-round pick? I traded Latavius Murray a 3rd and a 4th for then Anthony 2nd, and then I added an extra 3rd on and some blind bid dollars to get another 1st. So when you put all that together, Tyrod Taylor, Latavius Murray, a couple 3rds, a 4th, and $20 blind bid dollars, you would never accept that for AJ Brown. So you can maneuver your way to make some kind of moves and get first-round picks in other ways.
Those little moves add up, man, and that's
like that guy on eBay who bought a house with a paperclip.
Yeah, now that I'm going to the gas station, they're like, yeah, this girl on TikTok is trying to trade a bobby pin for a house. I'm like, I've seen this before. Stop trying to make this a new thing.
History repeats itself.
Yep.
I really thought you were going to say now when I go to the gas station to buy a drink, I offer them a piece of lint from my pocket.
GS.
Trade it up.
On that TV thing, I guess she has a Mini Cooper convertible now. from a bobby pin somewhere
Christ.
in the line. So
I'll
I'll sell a recording of this podcast
for nothing. For a nickel. Anyway, honestly, even to like Bruce gets 2 firsts in the future, obviously that's projecting way far out, but for a team as good as Bruce's, like it can't hurt. I mean, keeping AJ Brown, I would have personally done that, but hey,
now.
good.
There's one
great
thing I
trade.
do want to announce to the league here. Now that I am probably keeping AJ Brown, I may have some other wide receivers available for trade if anybody's looking for some top end guys like I don't know, Michael
interesting.
Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins. There's a couple guys that Keenan Allen might be on that list. Yeah. So
Breaking news. Anyway, now that we've got that out there, we'll go to the waivers. I think we've got a couple this week, and there's a big note here. I just want to read this. Okay, I don't know what that means, but
I'll handle it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So first one, are these in order of relevance? I'm guessing. Or
the first 2 bullet points were before this past week.
Okay.
And then the next were from this week.
So I'll read the 2, and then we'll talk on them just a bit. I had a Travis Fulgham at I think 2:30 in the morning, just as like a.
It was 2:30 in the morning. Yep.
Yeah. Right before I went to bed, I was like, why not? Whatever. And then Lucia added Jordan Wilkins. So, go ahead, Alex. You can say what you want to say.
Jordan Wilkins himself, not important at all, not relevant. Sorry, Jordan Wilkins. But,
Irrelevant.
The main reason why I'm bringing this up is because Lucho tried to pick up Jalen Richard last week.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the system said that he was not available because he was dropped. This never came up before. I knew about this, but this never came up before or had any issue of someone trying to make a pickup, because usually in Dynasty, when someone's dropped, someone's not really looking to pick them up the same week.
Mm-hmm.
So before it was, if you drop somebody, they'd be available in the next waiver run, which is the following week. So they're going to be unavailable to be on any team for that upcoming week. So Jalen Richard dropped by Kyle Wednesday, can't be picked up until after this week. That's why Lucho wasn't able to get him. So he picked up Jordan Wilkins instead. I would have felt very bad if Jalen Richard ended up having like a 25-point game, which would have gave Lucho the win, because I know that's who he was probably looking to start.
Is that not what happened?
Yeah, but fortunately it didn't. But I did change the rules of the league now. So on Sundays at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something, just you could put in a claim before that. Another waiver run will happen for anybody that hasn't cleared. So anyone that gets dropped on Wednesdays can now be picked up on Sunday mornings. And then if they're not picked up in waivers, then they're going to be available as free agents right before the games start.
And then waivers lock again once the games start.
Yes, exactly. So, and then obviously anyone that's dropped, if someone gets dropped Saturday night, you could put in a waiver claim, or you could pick them up on Sunday. It's just,
I like that a lot. I think
it's just if someone's dropped that Sunday morning, they won't be available for the games.
I like that a lot. I think that's actually.
I never actually thought of it doing this way. The reason why I didn't even bother changing, I was thinking we would need daily waiver runs to be able to pick up guys that get dropped, which I didn't want to do daily waiver runs because that's a lot of hassle. Yeah, I mean, in theory, it's a great thing, but just in our league, I don't think the competitive balance will be better if people can pick up guys just once a week or twice a week, as opposed to like, oh, we heard news about somebody and now someone's put in a claim for them like that same day. You know, what if someone's like Dennis? I know you work during the afternoons. What if some news breaks and then you miss out on a guy because you just didn't have your phone the entire time? So it's better.
I mean, you get the couple of texts of me in the group text at certain points during the day. Hey, what happened? Like, just every time.
So just having the second waiver claim on Sunday mornings is good. So just take. I know not everyone in our league probably listens to this podcast or will pick this up, but I'm not going to say anything because I already said it in the group me. So if you missed out on the group me, you missed out on this, you missed out on this relevant information. Sorry if that's bad, Commissioner.
And if you can't read, that's not our problem. You've got bigger problems. But
I also just don't think that having a second waiver claim is that big of a deal. Like,
no, I like this a lot. I'm actually so just real quick, Travis Fulgham, man, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy. But I don't see that. Being once people start getting healthy again. But hey, you never know with somebody like that. Then, he might blossom. Who knows? let's go to the next one. This was this week. These are the relevant ones, right? We didn't put every one of them in here.
It's just relevant, yeah. Which
Okay.
honestly, the last one is only relevant for the jokes. So
right. Okay. I got Jalen Richard for 16. Outbid Skylar with collusion, $15 because Skylar went an increment of 5, which everybody seems to want to do. That's why I went 16.
Mhm.
And then Anthony bid 2, Luch bid 1.
That was left over from when I was confused. I saw my name on this sheet and I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, just with somebody like this, it's another running back. He's clearly been playing because Gruden's just like, I'll do whatever I want.
I was just surprised to see you and Skylar bid so much money on a guy that's on bye week. Like, I'm just surprised that this even came to your guys' head.
It's for the future. Doesn't even really matter. It's just another running back because I've got a couple. And now with this Gordon thing, I don't know what's going to happen. Jesus. So it's just always nice to have another guy. I mean, I had, what was it, the third string guy? I had Hilliard, I think, from Cleveland.
So really quick to talk about Gordon. He got sent home from practice today because coach didn't think it was a good idea for that. They're going to determine as each day goes on if he's going to practice. They don't know if he's going to play this week. But I did see, according to the new CBA that was just signed, he is subject to a 3-game suspension because of this. Right. So most likely that won't happen until the NFL is done with their investigation. Who knows how long that will take? But I also could see the team not playing him this week.
Yeah, so at least I'd say like a month at this point. I mean, what an idiot.
I mean, the 3-game suspension might not even happen until next year,
Yeah, that is true.
Sometimes these things take a while because they wait to see what happens in court and things, but we'll see.
Right. So, I mean, at least at the very least, he's not going to play this Sunday and then maybe the rest of the year, but
he might play this Sunday. So what really sucks is sometimes this could mean that the NFL finishes their investigation right at the fantasy playoffs, which would be the worst timing, but that's just luck of the draw, kind of.
Yeah. So be it. Anyway, all right. So then that's cool, I guess. We'll go past this, and I picked up Carlos Hyde for nothing. Did nothing? I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, nothing. You just added. Nothing.
Nice. I didn't even know he was a free agent. I just kind of sorted it and I saw his name.
You might have bid $0 actually, and I just didn't care to put it down. So.
Yeah, if I bid, I put like $1 on him.
I think you did 0. No, you definitely you either bid 0 or you picked them up after waivers ran.
Right. I mean, like I said, Chris Carson goes down. I think that's like a decent little
Let me just delete this Ask Alex for more details thing because I'm clearly not looking up any details.
I don't want to put my name out there. And then, obviously, big pickup of the week, I added Alec Ingold for
the fullback.
The fullback with the Raiders. Did he have a touchdown or something? Is that why that's in there, or is it just he's just a big blocking stat?
Did Alec Ingold go to Wisconsin?
Alec Ingold scored a touchdown the week before last. I think he scored week 4.
Hey, listen, man, it's all about.
He went to Wisconsin. That's.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So no other notable ones for waivers. A couple small ones. One I think with Fulgham could be big, probably not, but let's go past that now. We'll go to the week 6 preview.
This is what everyone's been waiting for.
Predictions.
They want our predictions, especially since we went 6-0 last week. So, basically what we say is what's going to happen.
I am a golden god. Anyway. So just a couple notable bye week. Last week was with the New England and Denver thing, which was a total shit show on its own. This week, Seattle, New Orleans, Vegas, and the LASD Chargers. So a couple big, especially New Orleans. The New Orleans one I think is the big one in there. Seattle too.
I'd say Seattle's bigger, yeah.
Seattle's
yeah.
Vegas is a big one now too. Honestly, all of these are pretty relevant.
Yeah. Now that Herbert
have good fantasy players.
And let me just say this: I'm going to get this out of the way. I was so wrong about Herbert, but
me too.
Listen, yeah, I think we all were. Listen,
what's
who knows
funny,
if it sustains? But
so I didn't think he was going to be this good. But what's funny is I was saying, and Phil could back me up on this, that I thought Herbert should have gone 3rd in our draft because I just think
he absolutely should have.
Are that valuable?
Should have.
But this was even before like the draft or maybe it was right after the draft happened. I was saying, if I had the 3rd pick, it would have been really hard not to take Jonathan Taylor. but I really think that Herbert should go because QBs are just that hard to come by. So when you get a guy that's drafted in the top 10 of the NFL draft, you got to take him early. So that might be what happens with Trey Lance now. We'll see if he might not get drafted in the top 10. We'll see what happens.
In the past
he only
few
played
years,
one game this year. Too,
he did. I honestly
Lance?
like.
He didn't look that great either. He looked
Yeah.
okay.
So I was talking. I don't remember where I was talking about this, or maybe it was just in person with somebody. But so North Dakota State schedules Central Arkansas as their one game of the year. If you're Central Arkansas, well, obviously it's the Trey Lance showcase game. The only reason why they schedule. So Central Arkansas knows that that's all they're going to try to do. So that makes it easier to game plan against. Two, that's a lot of motivation to be like, hey, they scheduled us because they want to showcase their QB off. We're going to stop this.
Let's tee off on them, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot of motivation.
Greg Williams style.
Also, this was the fourth game for Central Arkansas, so they're all warmed up and ready to go, and they've had real game action, and North Dakota State just hasn't at all. So I'm not surprised Trey Lance didn't look good. So if I was a scout, this game doesn't mean much to me at all for Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm. His rushing was really good, if I remember that correctly. I think his throwing wasn't great.
Yeah, but especially after seeing last year when he had no interceptions, is pretty big. So, but the one thing is, most likely he's going to be in the draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went back for one more year. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think it's going to happen, but, who knows? Who knows what he starts hearing from the NFL and where he's going to be drafted. If he goes back for another year, it might help his draft stock because – correct me if I'm wrong, but Trey Lance, did he only played last year? Did he play before that, or is?
I mean, even if he did, I don't think it was as significant.
But it didn't matter though. It's not like Carson Wentz, where Carson Wentz played all 4 years, and all of a sudden we're like, all right, this kid's good. Like, I don't know, man. That's just he scares me a little bit. I still think in Superflex, if he gets drafted in the first round, he's got to be like a top 5 or 6 pick in our draft. If he gets drafted in the top 10, he should be third behind the other two guys. Well, I mean, could even be second ahead of one if you have a real preference. I think that Fields is better than him, but
I don't love Fields, but I think, and this is just my logic with any of these smaller school players. I mean, and NDSU is a dynasty dominant program in 1AA or subdivision, what the hell they call it now. You have to be so much better than the rest of these guys, and throwing no interceptions to like 40 something touchdowns, I think it was. I mean, right then and there. I think he's 28, 40 something. What's wrong with me then? Maybe that's career, or who knows. But he throwing no interceptions to that, like that just shows. I think he's going to be good. But like once again with quarterbacks, it's all about situation. You know what I mean? It's all about situation because you take a guy like Herbert, you put him on like the Jets or the Giants or something like that. He's probably not doing as good as he is right now when he has Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So. Who knows?
Well, I mean, he was doing this all without Mike Williams the last week too, so it's
true. But Keenan Allen's Hunter Henry, like that's pretty good. And he had Austin Eckler up until last week.
And they actually have a decent offensive line now too. I know they've had a couple injuries this year, but they finally got a better offensive line when Phil Rivers leaves.
That's how much we think of you and your 20,000 children. All right, so. Previews. I'm gonna read them off, and then we'll revisit them. We'll see what we think here. So, we got Bruce versus Joey.
The Not Stupid podcast game of the week.
Dun 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 dun. I think that's copyrighted. Anyway, Min. He's the best, man. Even though
he cut the rugs.
Yeah, even though he looks like the Crypt Keeper now with his hair, I'm so.
I don't know what's going on there, but
that's a little interesting. But he can do whatever he wants, man. Chris Berman can do whatever he wants. All right, then you got Thom 2-3 versus Sape 2-3. I think that's going to be a good matchup too. Lucha 1-4 versus Kyle 3-2. I think that's going to be a good matchup actually. Nick at 4-1 versus me at 4-1, which I think is going to be good too. Alex versus Phil at 3-2, which probably won't be as good.
I think that's going to be good too. Actually, Alex's team is playing well.
And then we have the Bins game of the week presented by Fournette, Anthony Lascazzo Jr. the second junior. Skyler versus Anthony. Someone has to get a win. Oh, I love it.
They could tie.
So they could. Yeah, they could. Unlikely.
I'm ready to see Skyler just finally stomp an opponent. Let out all that repressed anger.
Skyler's going to score 200 points.
All right, so we'll go Bruce versus Doge. Now, I'll start with you, Al, and then we'll work to Lucho. Who do you like here? Any particular reason why?
A normal week with no buys, I would say Bruce still. I mean, I looked at this before. Joey would have beat Bruce 1 week this season, but would have lost the other 4. And that one was only a 4-point win. Joey's team is very, very consistent. He had 1 week where he scored 152 points, but the other weeks he's been hanging out right around 130 points every single time.
152 is this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, with the way that Bruce's team is, I just think he wins. Also, now we add the bye weeks in. Yes, Bruce is losing Josh Jacobs. However, it doesn't matter that much to him. He's also losing Herbert, but once again, doesn't matter that much
Drew
to him.
Brees.
Oh, he's losing Drew Brees too. Okay, that makes it. But Joey loses Russell Wilson with Seattle. That's really where I was going with that. That's been a guy that's been really helping his team out. So it's going to be a good game. I don't think anyone's going to dominate, but I do think Bruce wins maybe by 15, 20, maybe 25 points at most.
All right, Luch, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much with every point you brought up, honestly. I think it's tough because every time I look at Bruce's team, my brain just screams there's got to be regression to the mean at some point with this. But I
don't know, man.
I don't know.
The limit does not exist.
He's already having some regression by not having Julio Jones able to play. He scored 162 points and he didn't even have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs in this week. It's like, it's
asymptotic.
He can lose. His team's not unbeatable. Clearly, he has 5 losses on all play, but it's going to need to be someone else's best game to beat him.
It's got to be a Herculean effort by the undefeated team.
So you guys are both going Bruce.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to turn this on its head. I think it's going to be Dog just because of the lack of super flex there. I think that hurts him. And obviously,
but who is Joey going to put in? He's going to put Darnold's not playing. Haskins is out, so he has Minshew and does he have any? Yeah,
No,
so he doesn't have a super flex either.
Okay. I guess I didn't look at it hard
He
enough.
is Flacco. He could put Flacco in. Cam is back, so Jared Stidham won't be starting. So yeah, he could put Flacco in if he wants. I don't know. Maybe it's better.
You
than
know
putting,
what? Now that you
it's
say
better
that,
than putting Zay Jones in. Yeah, but
then put somebody better than Zay Jones. He'll have Corey Davis potentially.
Bruce.
You know what? You guys convinced me. I'm going with Bruce here just because of that lack of a super flex there, and I kind of like
the same goes for Bruce. He could put Kyle Allen in, so Kyle Allen and Joe Flacco just cancel each other out to me.
All right, I think so too. And not to be this guy, but I think Joey is due for kind of a bit of a down week.
Should have been last week, but
didn't see it happening.
Fucking
but
first quarter injuries.
Spiking the ball.
Michael
dangerous.
Thomas getting ruled out an hour before I would have made a different move.
All right, so we got
reasons.
Initially, I
was going to play him too.
Yeah. But initially a little pushback, but unanimous there. Bruce wins that. That's surprising. But that will be a good matchup to keep an eye on. Next one, Thom and Al. I'm going to go with Luch. What you thinking there? Give me a reason why.
Well, I do.
Oh, before we start, haven't mentioned it. Round of applause for Alex's new teammate, by the way. It's I'm a big fan. 4, 5, 6. Fuck Mike Kane.
I had to wait until I got that AJ Brown deal done, and then I immediately changed it. I texted him too. I was like, I had to wait, and he goes, "What? I would have doubled the price if I knew this was the case."
Patented by Broccoli Rob himself. The 4, 5, 6. Fuck Mike. But yeah. Anyway, Luch, go ahead.
I think this is gonna be. I would say it's a pretty easy win for Lexington over here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Concord.
Yeah, you got Dalvin Cook's going to be out. Devin Singletary is poopy. Lev Bell is not on a team. Darrington Evans is hurt.
His running backs are in a tough spot right now.
Correct.
I'd expect him to be starting Singletary and Fournette.
Lamar Jackson will probably regress back up to I could see like a 25. Matt Ryan probably put up like 15, 20, 25.
I also think I have him beat on the quarterback side too. With Mahomes.
Because Drew Lock is back, is he not?
Yeah, but he's not going in my lineup. Roethlisberger's in all day.
I think the quarterbacks.
He's playing the Browns.
Oh, he's playing
Right.
the Bruins. Yeah, you have the edge there then. I was gonna say
The
it's
thing
close.
that scares me is he's getting Adams back at full health. He's might be getting Godwin back. He's probably getting Fant back. It's not as bad injury-wise for Tom as it was before. It's really just Dalvin Cook, and his running back situation is just not that great to begin with.
See, his wide
But-
receivers, like, yeah, he's getting Adams back, but and I feel like Adams, Godwin, and like Chenault or Boyd or whoever he wants to start, that's just bringing him up to your level for your wide receivers. That's not really. I don't think that.
But the
puts
thing
him
is,
over the top.
I'm missing Keenan Allen and Michael Thomas from bye weeks. So I have Hopkins, AJ Brown. This is another reason why I'm not moving AJ Brown. Is mainly because this week I realized I need him. So, and then my third guy hopefully will be Deontay Johnson if he's healthy. If not, it's going to be Edelman. But
yeah, I think
but those are still
completely
not
equal.
bad backups, like emergency into.
Yeah.
Like,
Did
that's not
somebody
bad
say
at all.
bad back? Deontay Johnson.
oh, stop. And Keenan Allen.
Ooh.
And honestly, probably old
The
Edelman at some point.
only
me at
thing,
some points.
the only thing he has you beat on is tight end, and that's we were saying before. Like,
I don't even know if he does.
I don't agree with that at
Evan
all,
Ingram is
actually.
playing Washington, and
And I like
uh,
Tyler Higbee better than who he is, Fant, right?
well, and Fant is also playing the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't. But even still, without the matchup, I still like your tight ends better. I like Higbee better than I like Fant.
I don't know about Higbee anymore, man. Not while Jared
Dude,
Everett is
no.
healthy too.
mm-mm.
This is more of a next year play. We'll see what happens because I don't think Gerald Everett will be on that team. He's a free agent.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was trying to like get Everett from you in the off.
This was I drafted Everett in the startup for the exact reason, just to hope that he moves to a different team.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
All right. Luke,
so
you think Al?
if I had to take a pick, I'm going to go with my gut and say Tom wins.
Okay, fair enough. The reverse jinx.
Well, I said the same thing about Dog in the podcast. I said he was going to win, and he did win. But
All right.
double
I think
reverse.
it's Al. I really like the wide receiver situation, and Thumb's injuries right now. I mean, obviously the X factor is obviously you have a guy like Jackson, and maybe if Ryan comes up and has a pretty good game. Dalvin Cook being out is a big loss because he's, I think, in even scripts, I think is the most utilized running back. I'm not
that
too.
wouldn't be surprising.
I
mean,
don't-
The Browns
Right.
running backs combined might be more, but as
Right.
a singular guy, yeah.
right.
The one thing, also, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom makes some kind of big trade between now and the start of our game because
You got
that
rumors?
would be that. No, I'd have no rumors, but it's just that's a kind of
rumblings.
Tom thing to do when he's sitting at 2-3 and a podcast is saying that he's probably going to lose. And
I'm taking my pick just because of like I've said, I think wide receivers are better. I think your running backs are better, and I think your quarterbacks are pretty on par. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Al here for another unanimous one.
Yep.
This is weird.
Lexington.
Every time
and
Lucho's
Concord.
here,
well, it's not unanimous for I picked against me, but
it's unanimous.
so
I don't know what it means, man. Okay. All right, next one. Luch at 1-4 and Kyle at 3-2, and this is like such an interesting like dynamic here. The team that just has had some bad luck, and then a team that's just seemingly gotten some pretty good bounces here. So, Al, I'll go with you first.
I'm not ready. Go ahead.
All right, I'll go with myself here. Let me bring up his. By the way, new team name. No longer everybody's rival. It's PJ Walker presents Coach Dad's. That you have to say Dad's because if you don't, it's not right. Favorite sons, MRAE. What the hell is MRAE?
My rivals are everybody.
Oh, okay. So I guess
Okay,
he
that's
still
good.
hates us all.
Yeah.
Hates us all. But
How did he
Thoughts on the
fit
new
all
name?
that in his team name?
I don't know.
Imagine
I like
hearing
it,
Joe
though.
Buck say that while the team comes out.
In him and his midlife crisis beard.
Mhm.
Luch, who do you have on bye this week? Just read it up to me in my ear here. So while I look at his team, because he doesn't really have.
He doesn't
any,
have anybody on bye.
except
I
for his fullback. No, Kyle doesn't. So, ooh, this is going to be a tough one because I don't see Joe Burrow being as bad as he was. I can't like pick unless Luch has like half his team out. Can't
No,
pick
I
against
have Adam Troutman and Brian Edwards on bye. That's it. Dudes that I wouldn't
Trout-
start anyway.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Burrow is playing Indianapolis, which is probably the toughest matchup you can have.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw how well he did against the Ravens. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Luch here, and I honestly I don't think this one's gonna be close. To be honest, I just your team is just better. It just is. So
yeah, Luch, I think you're gonna get the luck at some point going your way. I think you do get a win here as well.
I hope so. There's just been between just like I said, general player variance and me not being able to form a starting lineup to save my life.
Okay.
It's been rough. So yeah, I'm hoping. I do agree that I do think my team is better, and I do think I can do something with this. His wide receivers are scary, in my opinion, because like he has so many dudes that could just explode.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with that. Let me just ask you what, maybe in that same vein, what do you think is like the worst case scenario here? Like, what do you think, just anybody on your team having a particular bad day, or do you think it, just like you said, like just this wide receiver's just going ballistic?
I mean, like Goff could have another good game. Burrow bounces back. Lamb has another good game. I think Lamb could very easily, this could be him moving into possibly number 2. Because, like, you also got to think...
He's already a top 16 guy right now.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, for the team structure and for, like, where Dalton looks for targets.
Even his running back situation with the Superflex is not too bad with Hunt and Connor. It's not that bad. I mean, I like your players more. I like your players.
Jonnu Smith is awesome for him, too.
Jonnu Smith is a killer.
Jonnu Smith is the number 1 tight end in points per game right now. So
Jonnu Smith is finally bearing fruit to all the people that had held him in dynasty leagues before ours.
Yeah.
I need to stand behind my team and say that I do think my team is better, and I hope I can get the win.
It is.
If I don't get the win, I'm burning this bitch to the ground.
And I think it'll be you, but once again, I think you said with Kyle's team, like just about anything can happen. So, hey, we'll say Luch wins. I think unanimously here. I think we'll say Luch wins there.
Thank you for bestowing a win upon me, Tribunal
You're welcome.
Council.
We will wish it. We will wish it into existence. What's the next matchup here? Is it me? All right. Next matchup is Nick at 4-1 versus me at 4-1. Nice. I can't do it. I'm on my phone. Stop. It's funny. All right. So yeah, I'll let you guys take it over there.
I think you win this pretty easily because Nick still not having Eckler. He won't have Kamara for this matchup with New Orleans being on a bye. Sure, he gets Rodgers back, but just he's without Kamara and Eckler. I don't know how he can win this game. That's really it.
Let me ask you too, Luch. What do you think? Do you agree with that, or you don't agree with that?
I do agree. I think Amari Cooper will probably get some regression back to like where he's supposed to be, but 15.8. That's what he got over the year for Fuller, whatever. Otherwise, Rodgers is going to help, but your team is head and shoulders above him without Kamara and Eckler, like you said, and Gurley will not be that good. Because he will not play Carolina again.
All right. Let me ask though this just as a they're what I think number 1.
They're
points for rushing. Yeah.
Everybody but Kenyon Drake had a get right game against them.
You're right. We're just playing Minnesota, which they haven't been that great against the run either. But
all right. Anyway, so let me just ask. This is just a Nick question before I get into my own take on my own team. Do you think he super flexes Jimmy G?
I don't know if Jimmy G plays.
Really?
If Jimmy G plays, he does.
Shanahan says he still needs to evaluate.
For who? The Beathard?
He needs to just. I guess I'm guessing Beathard would start, but who knows who's starting? Who knows?
Initially, all right. I think if he plays, he kind of has to, because I don't want.
Well, sure. If Jimmy G plays, you do put him in. Nick doesn't have other options, So
He
Yeah,
has
can't-
Judy. He might.
well, Judy's going to be in
replace
anyway because
Judy.
Yeah, but he played two tight ends last week. though. That's-
Judy normally would be in his lineup. Yeah, but yeah, 2 tight ends. I doubt he puts Golden Tate still in too. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's his options are pretty limited. So
I initially want to say my team, yes, and I probably will lean towards my team. The only issue I have is my running back situation is kind of a little
yeah, it's not
eh.
good right now.
right now, but I will say though, having like McKinnon as like that emergency guy is not like the worst.
I
in the
don't even
league.
know what McKinnon is anymore.
Yeah, and
Most
like
healthy.
I felt comfort starting him because even like those first 2 weeks when Mostert was in, he was getting good burn and he was getting good play. I think maybe this was just a get right for Mostert, but who knows? It could be worse, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go with me here for the first time ever, just because I still think the rest of my lineup is better. So who knows? Now that I've said that, I'll definitely lose. But
I don't like that. Speaking of McKinnon, I would have agreed with you until this week because they were behind. They trailed the entire game, and they've been showing that they use McKinnon more as their like third
Right.
down guy and their change of pace guy more to split him in. He got 3 touches.
Right. And I mean,
That's
if
like-
Gordon is in, it's not even a thought. But like I said, it could be worse.
Does anyone know if Tevin Coleman is back yet? Because as soon as Tevin Coleman is
No.
back, I think McKinnon is pretty much worthless. And
Yeah.
Tevin Coleman's worthless himself too, but it's just no, they
It
don't
just
know.
becomes,
Undetermined.
a nightmare.
Coleman has a knee sprain and will miss an undetermined length of time.
Right.
So,
Hey, listen, man. Anyway, I still, even without that, I think I don't mind my odds. But if Gordon plays, then I think I'm more confident about it, obviously. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. All right. So we got Alex and Phil here. Let's go, Luch. What do you think here? What do you think? What do you like? Who do you
Alex, before Lucha jump in, Alex is going to be missing Chris Carson. He's going to be missing Traquan Smith.
I mean, if Michael Thomas plays, does it even matter?
Yeah, but those are the 2 guys he's missing for that. And then Phil, I don't know if Phil's missing Hunter Henry, so he'll have Hayden Hurston or Greg
Oh,
Olson.
don't worry, he'll put
No,
his other eye
he's
in.
missing Greg Olson too, so he only has Hayden Hurst. And I think that's the only thing that Phil would be missing. I don't think he has any of the other pieces.
Who'd you say Alex was missing again? Chris Carson.
Chris Carson, which is big, and Traquan
That's
Smith.
huge. Missing Carson is gonna hurt
Yeah.
so much. But I mean, Phil doesn't really have viable running backs either outside of James Robinson. So
That's true, because he traded the other one away.
Oof.
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 I oofed, but I actually don't remember who it was.
James Conner.
Oh right.
James Conner.
Um,
Yeah. Awful.
It's got to be Phil. It has to be Phil. Even without Dak, I think he can get by with Teddy and Cousins. Cousins going to be in a good matchup. Teddy has looked good.
Alex would have beat Phil this week.
Yeah, but that was this week.
Yeah, but that's in the past.
Wait,
Yeah.
I just
All right,
confused
so
myself.
All right. Anyway, so you think it's gonna be Phil?
I think it's Phil. Phil's team is just, it's got every one of his players outside of a handful could pop off, and that will probably take him over the edge. Because who does Peanut even have other than Carson? That's like
Carson?
halfway relevant.
CEH.
CEH.
Yeah.
who's been-
I thought we were talking
Gaskin.
Oh,
about
right,
relevant
Gaskin.
players.
Yeah.
Gaskin.
Yeah, Gaskin.
Tyler Lockett is going to be on bye.
I forgot about Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sammy
shit.
Watkins
I gotta pick Phil.
Sammy Watkins can be
He's
out.
hurt.
I was gonna lean towards Alex here as like an upset, but then I with Tyler Lockett out.
I mean, we'll see.
I
Ryan
don't see it.
Fitzpatrick might be able to win this by himself.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
against the
revenge
Jets.
game.
Yeah.
Revenge tour.
Gaskin
Yeah.
and Fitzpatrick are gonna have. But yeah, I'm picking Phil.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go Alex. I'm gonna go upset here, just because. I
Would you
don't know,
pick Phil?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
There's
pick
just
Phil.
something about
Well, hang on. Because if Gordon is out, Peanut can start Lindsey.
Yeah.
I'm going with Alex here.
I'm picking Phil, but I think it's gonna be a stressful game for Phil.
What game isn't stressful for Phil?
That's true.
I will also go, as much as it pains me. I hope Peanut doesn't watch this part. Turn off the screen now.
I don't even know if he's
I
watching
say-
these
I say
anymore.
Phil. Yeah, we haven't gotten any fan mail from him, so we don't know. He's just falling down that fan ranking every day.
We should have next episode. We'll have a fan ranking.
Oh,
Fitz and Stafford, because Stafford's playing Jacksonville, so he's probably gonna flex.
Say Alex. I know you want to. Just say it.
No,
Just say
it's Phil.
No,
It's
you
Phil.
want to.
It's Phil.
All right.
You
Alright,
stop
I got
it.
Alex.
You stop it.
I got Alex. You know you want to.
I'm not a. What was it?
All
I'm
right.
not a shopping list. I'm a ghost.
Now for the Bins Game of the Week, presented by Fournette and Anthony Liscauser Jr. the second, Jr.
It's Skylar. It
Yeah,
has to be.
it's Skylar.
Skylar's
I
gonna
don't-
stomp him into a paste.
Yep.
If Anthony wins,
was I supposed to be filling in the standings while we were doing this? I was. Whoops.
Oops.
It was on the next page, so I wasn't paying attention.
Oops. All right. Yeah. I mean, just while you're doing that, I mean, I'll talk on that real quick. I don't know who Anthony or Skylar have on a bye, but just on like talent alone on the team, like I can't see it's not. Well, actually, there's no what's his face for Skylar this week. No Metcalf. I don't know who else he has there, but I don't know who Anthony doesn't have either. No, it's I don't know, man. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, with Mostert there, yes, Frank Gore might get a bump.
Frank Gore, I can't believe we're saying this.
Yeah,
It's 2020.
I know. No, it's got to be Skylar, and it's not even close actually, because Anthony doesn't have Derek Carr. So who other than yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, it's Skylar. It's not. I don't even know why I kid myself there. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
mean,
still filling this in.
I know. I'm just trying to just talk while you're doing it. Lucci, you don't think that Anthony has any chance, do you?
Not even close. No.
Nah.
There is an outside chance that
Is it
Anthony
a
can do it.
plane crash?
Yeah, there's an outside chance that all of Skylar's players are in a plane crash. With his luck this year, it's possible. I mean, who is he going to start at running back? Whom, I ask you, whom? But I mean, Marquise Brown is always in to pop off. Otherwise, I mean, he can start Mike Williams or Keelan Cole and hope for something. Curtis Samuel's not going to have that kind of game again.
Mike Williams is on a bye.
Oh fuck, you're right.
You know it's going to be really shitty, and I'm calling this now because Dom said it earlier in the year. Anthony's going to get his first win against me because I have an awful bye week the week I play him because I have all my Chiefs gone.
So initially, I thought I was going to have an awful bye week versus Nick in week 8, but all my buys has been moved around. Like Keenan Allen's bye is now this time. The
my Chiefs
Steelers
have it.
bye was now in week 4. So it actually, I'm only missing. I think I'm just missing Hopkins versus Nick. I don't even remember now, but it's not bad anymore. So
All right.
who knows? It's still a lot could change. Don't even pay
yeah,
attention to bye
still.
weeks.
Yeah, anything can happen. So anyway, let's go to our
Actually,
predicted-
just to mention, don't even pay attention to bye weeks. I know for a fact that Phil traded for Greg Olsen because Hurst and Henry had the same bye week, and now they don't because Henry's bye week is this week,
Fuck.
the same time as Greg Olsen's. So
Very nice. All right, so as our predictions say, because they are law because of proving last week,
yep.
if we say it, it happens.
Yep.
All right, so Bruce moves to 5-1. I move to 5-1. Joey moves to 5-1.
And this is an order of points for with the tiebreakers too of what I think would happen.
Okay.
So Joey would be knocked out of a bye week spot with this.
Interesting.
Ooh.
And then Nick falls to 4-2. Phil up to 4-2. Al 3-3. Kyle 3-3. Lucia 2-4. Thom. Didn't we say Kyle was gonna lose? Yeah.
Kyle did lose.
Oh, in that situation. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. My bad. Lucia 2-4. Thom 2-4. Alex at 2-4. Skylar 1-5. Anthony at 0-6.
The only thing is I didn't put in potential points because I have no clue how I can't.
No,
predict
you
them.
don't even.
So this is just a normal standings order. Most likely
Right.
make the playoffs.
Right. So let's go with that. And then Al, you want to take this right here?
Yeah. So I had to put this at the back of the episode because I normally probably would have gave the number one fan of the week to whoever wrote in fan mail, because that gets you a lot of points for that. But number one fan of the week. This is a little bit of a tough one. I obviously can't give it to Mike because that would go against my rivalry. I'm not giving it to Anthony because Anthony didn't do anything to deserve it, and Joey would be pissed, who was our number one fan of the week last week. I'm almost considering giving to Joey again for continuation, but not going to do that either. Nick doesn't even play this, so I can't give it to him. I can't give it to myself, I don't think, right? So
you gotta get a lot of lotion and some tissues.
Nah, what did I do? I didn't do anything to make. You know what? I'm gonna give the number one fan of the week to
my mom.
No. Dennis, I'm gonna give it to you, man.
Yeah,
it's the number one fan of the week for this episode.
Nice, thanks, guys.
The reason for that, I don't know.
You saw his name a couple times on the sheet.
You weren't originally one of the hosts, and now you are, and you are basically the main host now. So it's nice to have that. So you deserve a number one fan of the week at some point.
I also watch every podcast in full every week.
Dennis, are you going to be mad if I take it away from you right now?
Go for it.
All right, so I'm actually taking it away from you, and I'm giving our number one fan of the week to Lucho for being our producer for the past few weeks, despite not being on the other thing. So thanks, Luch. Dennis, you were in a close second place.
Maybe I'll get it next week.
Maybe.
Honestly, though, I would say for me, I think Thom should be in there because he did text us and say, "Great podcast this week, guys." So
he is also the only one.
Third.
He is the only one other than Dennis that comments on these videos on YouTube.
I just something really stupid.
All right, you know what, guys?
Nice
I decided
mustache.
that it's a three-way tie.
Nice. All right.
Everybody gets
the fans of the week.
Everybody gets.
It was a pretty low bar.
Wait,
so,
Donovan McNabb didn't know we could tie.
Yo, ties? I don't know if that's how he talks. All right,
well, haven't you ever watched that Always Sunny episode? We should know how he talks.
So the fan ranking next episode, is that?
Yeah, we'll work on this together. We'll figure this out. We have to do it without Kyle, so don't put it in the group chat that we talk about unless we take Kyle out of that first. Yeah. But it's going to be determined by the hosts, and we'll release that next episode.
I wish there was a way to see who watches all of them, but I don't think there is. So we'll just go off of what people say. Give us.
There's an entire week until the next episode. We might get a lot of people pushing to make be higher on this list.
Text us. Make your case.
We're gonna make some October surprises.
I am open to bribes. I'm open to bribes. I don't care. I will fully admit it. All right. So now we're gonna go.
Yeah, you could always trade me a player like how Lucho thought he was getting AJ Brown for $8. I'll do one of those trades if you want to give me somebody for $8.
No, dude, it's like the Mandela effect. It happened, and then we went to a different timeline where it didn't.
Ah, I see.
Or we could just talk. We could just pull the Mike Kane method and call Mike Kane a bitch, and he has to trade us things. Is that? All right, fine. I'll give you a third for him. All right, but now that I believe most of the football stuff is over with. It's time for Dennis's food question of the week. And now, this is an open discussion. We won't spend too much time on it unless we want to. Now, I do believe... Hold on.
Holding on.
Okay, what is it?
That's the next segment. Let's go with yours.
All right. So then for now, I think, what was it last week? It was the ice cream truck, right?
Yep.
Luch, you weren't here. And I'm just going to ask you
this. We gotta get Luch's...
You're at an ice cream truck. You have whatever money you want. Nothing crazy. You can't buy the whole fucking truck unless you want to. What are you getting?
The Ninja Turtles fruit pop.
Oh,
really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Or a Choco Taco.
Oh my God!
It depends on what mood I'm in.
The Choco Taco is too divisive. How about now? What would it be now? Like right this minute?
Right now, it would be the Ninja Turtles thing.
Why?
Because I love those.
But what's so great about it?
They're like a combination between a rocket pop and candy because the eyes are made of candy.
I'm not a fan of those.
Yeah, I don't know about these either, but okay, all right.
All right. So Al, what did you say last week? I can't even remember.
Oh man, I don't even remember what I said. It depends on what mood I'm in. Now we were talking about Chipwiches, so now I really still want a Chipwich.
Yeah, I'm always Chipwich 100 times out of 100.
You know, I also why I'm blanking on what they're called, but you know the pink bar with like the crunchy outside to it. Why can't?
Oh yeah, the
strawberry shortcake.
Good humor.
The strawberry shortcake. I like those a lot too. So you know,
any of those variations, that the chocolate eclair, and then what's the other one? There's strawberry one, and I thought there was another one.
It's like a butterscotchy or something one.
Yeah, yeah. It's toasted almond. I think it's like toasted almond.
Yeah.
Toasted almonds. That's unexpected. Anyway, so all right, let's move past that. This is mine this week. Everybody here likes barbecue, right? Like barbecue restaurants.
Yeah.
Like barbecue.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So you go into a barbecue restaurant.
Can we go to Dinosaur Barbecue?
Yes.
Can we go to that barbecue in Cleveland?
Yes, we can. You can go any barbecue you've ever had. You've got to get 2 meats and 2 sides. What are they? It could be something
I
very
get
specific.
brisket everywhere I go. So
yeah,
that's
I was
one
gonna
of
say
my...
brisket is automatic.
I am also a brisket guy. What else? You can take your time with it. I'll fill dead air because I already know what mine is. So while you're thinking, I will talk. For me, I am a brisket guy, 1,000% of the time. Obviously, it's got to be smoked. Has to be smoked. 2 is some form of ribs. Now, I do love St. Louis style. I love baby back. I love all of them. But the smoked lamb ribs I had in Cleveland were by far some of the best things I've ever had. Lamb is my favorite fucking thing in the world. So I would say that. Now, sides. Sides for me is it's easy to say mac and cheese. Everybody wants to say mac and cheese. Problem is, though, you ate all that meat, and now you're going to down yourself with some fucking cream and bechamel.
Yeah, I am.
Little too much for me.
You're saying that like this is a bad thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I will say, but saying that, I'm absolutely getting mac and cheese. It's not even a contest. And then 2, maybe a bit controversial, baked beans. I love baked beans.
I love baked beans
so much.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to get technical, the burnt ends with the little burnt bits in it, perfect. So there you have it right there. Smoked lamb ribs, brisket, little bit of both, little bit of barnyard, little bit of the open field. Then you have your mac and cheese, obviously. Hopefully it's Southern style. And then on top of that, some baked beans. Anybody have it? Whoever wants to talk next, feel free to go.
Well, I can tell you right now, brisket, like I said, was one of mine. Number 1 side, hush puppies.
Oh, God, those are so good. Yeah.
Those are the greatest things ever, and I had them down when I was in Missouri too, as when I went to get barbecue down there, and oh my God, it was so good. If Lucho, if you're ready, you can go. I'll start thinking about what did you want? You wanted 2 meats and how many sides?
2 meats and 2 sides.
2 meats.
All right, so those are my first 2. I'm still thinking about the others.
So I gotta go classic. I said before when Alex said it that brisket is 1. I will say I don't need it smoked. Brisket, to me, smoked brisket is a little too dry for me, but I've also never had super legit barbecue, so I don't know if they're not doing it right.
Okay. Well, we're making a trip.
Get in the car.
I'm gonna go with just the classic pulled pork for the other meat. Just because, like, I mean, like I said, if I'm trying, I gotta try the brisket, but if I don't like the brisket, I need something on that I can go to.
Okay.
The sides, I need a starch. I need potatoes. It doesn't matter what kind of potato.
Fries, vinegar potatoes, baked potato. Okay, that's
baked potato. Baked potato is great because then I could just get another side of chili as my other side and put it in, or baked beans and put it in. But I think my other side, now that Alex said hush puppies, I think I have to go with I gotta go with cornbread. Like real cornbread.
Yes.
How do I? Fuck that. It's cornbread. I'm done.
I was gonna say if I wasn't picking hush puppies, I'm picking cornbread. I'm not gonna get both of them.
No, yeah, it's one or the other. It depends.
Yeah, so I want hush puppies. If I can't get hush puppies, which is at most places up here, I'm getting cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
The sides are tough, man. I don't think I like mac and cheese a lot, but Dennis, I think I'm with you on the baked beans, man. I love baked beans.
Baked beans are very
I don't
high up there too.
honestly
Yeah.
not a big fries guy. Like, okay, sure, yeah.
Not at barbecue. Not at barbecue.
Yeah, not a big salad person either at a barbecue either. But there's always an option. I guess
You can get better greens than a salad at a barbecue.
well,
that's the thing,
that's exactly where I was just going. That's exactly where I was just going. I would probably get some kind of asparagus that they would make. I'm a big fan of asparagus at really anywhere. And at barbecue place, I usually get good spices on it too. So that'd be pretty good for my sides. My other meat, it's got to be smoked sausage, man. I'm a
it's underrated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Underrated. Now, just in the same vein, really quickly, because I think there was a lot of things we wanted to say. Is there an honorable mention in there? Something maybe you think? All right. So
I like pulled pork.
Let me reword this. It's maybe called, and I'm stealing this from Bon Appetit. They do your second time. So you go there and then you say you're like a regular there. What are you gonna get the second time when you're like, maybe I'll change it up, like something you would normally try.
Can I order just an entree from Billy Bob's, the Piggy Mac, so I get the mac and cheese and the pulled pork combined?
Sure. You know, it's super underrated that I don't ever get this the first time, and I always kick myself for doing it, is a smoked half chicken.
I never get the chicken, but
if you get it, PC Paddock does it. Shout out to them.
Billy Bob's does it too.
Yep.
It's so underrated, but you never get it the first time. If you go back somewhere, you'll get it, and you won't be upset with that.
Can we just take a trip to like Billy Bob's or something and just all get something different and then just share it all?
Just
like
try it all. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Luch, you got a second choice for the second time around?
I was very close to saying a chicken dish, but I feel like at a barbecue, it's tough because chicken is so versatile that you can do chicken. I feel like you can do chicken better at other places.
You know what's really good too? That's like really tough to get. It's just like at a barbecue place, if they have smoked turkey, it's like so tough to order.
You can get that
good.
They had smoked turkey at the one in Cleveland. I had some of that. So good.
Fucking was a thing.
Oh,
it looks like we're going back to Cleveland.
Okay, here you go. Here's one. My second time, quote unquote, if you're going to a specialty barbecue / seafood joint in South Carolina, you would get shark nuggets and free cinnamon buns in place of free bread.
Oh, cinnamon buns, yes. Luch, by the way, the barbecue in Cleveland was Carolina style.
Oh. Carolina style barbecue is the best. I love vinegar. I don't know why.
Oh yes,
but it's like the right ratios of it too. It's it's
like mustardy and vinegary. Yeah. It's the yeah. All right, let's move.
Guys, I just because I wanted to keep looking into barbecue, I just looked up a list. Oh man, this beef rib, that's a Texas thing. Oh, this looks so
I've never had one of those. Those are huge though.
They are huge.
The fucking Fred Flintstone ribs.
Do you want to know the ranking from this random website I just found? It's a top 10. So number 10, beef rib. All right.
I agree with that.
Number 9, this is all items, by the way. Baked beans.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's as a side dish, yeah.
As a side, it got there at number 9. Number 8, potato salad. Baked beans should have been ahead in mine.
I'm not a fan.
I think the potato is too strong of a classic.
I don't care about potato salad at a barbecue place. Like that's
No.
more of like a deli thing to me.
I prefer coleslaw, to be honest.
So do I, actually. I like coleslaw better. Which, it's funny you say that, because number 7, coleslaw.
Yeah.
On here.
Potato. All right, so far potato salad is like the one I'm not digging.
Number 6, sausages.
Good.
Definitely wrapped on the number 5, chicken. See, I like sausages better than chicken, but
not if it's smoked. Not if it's smoked.
Look at this. Arguably the most undervalued plate in barbecue. Chicken ranks below the more iconic meats. Number 4, spare ribs. All right.
Love spare ribs.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm not a big ribs guy.
Me neither.
I love ribs. Having a mustache and a beard, it's tough to love them.
Really?
But
they don't love you back.
No, I do love ribs. I love all ribs. I can only eat so much of them, but I do love them.
Number 3, pork. Obviously, chopped or pulled.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, it has to be on there. Number 2, brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, looking at this brisket makes me just want this. Now, brisket is 100% my number 1, because that one in Cleveland just melts in your mouth. Brisket, it's so
What's
good.
number 1?
Number 1, what a cop out. Sauce.
I don't necessarily think that good barbecue has sauce on it.
It doesn't need sauce. Yeah.
It depends. Like ribs, yes, but like brisket, there's no I mean,
In
not really.
fairness, there are so many places that do pride themselves on their special formulation of sauces. I
should have
get
looked at this
the
list
I
before
get
I
the
started
food,
putting it on here.
like
I
the-
hate this list. This is
I
stupid.
get the culinary idea behind it. I do agree that it's a cop out, but I
Barbecue
get
sauce is
it.
not hard.
In
to
case
make.
you guys were wondering, on Ranker, so people voted steak is number one because they're going by
cool.
like a barbecue you go to in your backyard.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
That's a
All
good
right,
that's a good split for that.
All right, so I'll have something for next week.
Can we do something cereal related again?
Could be.
I
We'll
want
see.
barbecue so bad. I didn't even eat dinner, so now.
Oh
We'll see.
no.
All right, Al, you have a question. What is that?
Yeah, I do. So, when you guys brush your teeth,
Oh, no.
what segment of your mouth do you start with?
The
It's like
front.
top left, bottom left.
Top left. I'm a righty.
Yeah. Top. I go top right.
See, I go.
Top left and then bottom right molar.
This would be a pretty good thing if I was just Lucho's recording, but this would have been pretty good. I go top right, bottom left. No,
yeah,
I
I'm
go,
just saying.
I go bottom right to start. So,
Interesting.
and I'm a righty.
I just
Nah,
I go
yeah.
here, I go here, and then down there. Yeah, interesting. I
So
never even thought of that. It's
I
something
have
you
a
do on
poll. There's a poll on Twitter that I did see. It has 23,444 votes to this. Bottom left, the winner, 35%.
Wow.
bottom left. Who starts with the bottom molars?
Oh, I do. I start with bottom right.
Go bottom. I go
Bottom
top
left, winner 35%. Second place, close, with 33% top left. So left side, I guess.
It's because 90% of people are right-handed, so they
Yeah,
go
but
down.
I'm right-handed. I'm right-handed, and I start with the right.
No, same.
So-
I do the right too, but
And then bottom right, third, which is what I do, 17%, and then close to that, fourth, top right, 15%.
Yeah, I feel like that's weird.
Now, if you go into the
That's what I
comments,
do.
people will be like, "You didn't include top, middle, inside, bottom, middle." I'm like, "What is wrong with you?"
where's the
Somebody
one
goes
guy
to-
that's like, I don't brush my teeth?
Yeah, right.
Or the one guy that's like, I go right for the tongue. I just
Ew.
That's actually, I
See,
honestly,
look,
that's like
top,
what-
middle, getting no representation.
I'm waiting for the Wojnarowski reporting how he brushes his teeth for a watch bomb.
Woj bomb.
What if you only have
Alright.
one tooth?
Then you start with that one, I guess.
Then you are a baby
You're
Or
either
an old
a child
man.
or
you
an
live
old man.
or you live somewhere in the deep south, like
That's true.
Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to them. Don't shout out to them.
Don't shout out
All
to
right.
Mobile, Alabama, because Nick Saban just tested positive today.
Did he?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got anything else, or are we good here? This is it.
Think we're good.
All right.
We're good
Let's
here.
wrap this mofo up. We'll be back next week with more reactions, more food questions, more overall shenanigans, really.
And then fantasy last.
And then some fantasy stuff. I mean, it is a fantasy podcast. If you're here from Reddit, subscribe to Lucho. I doubt you are, but you're definitely not. Hey, once again, guys, give my
if
thanks
they're
out.
from Reddit, they definitely aren't still listening to this.
Well, listen, the one dork might, but whatever.
Someone
Anyway.
might have like looked for it and then 2 minutes in was like, "I'm not listening to this."
No
fucking
fucking
kidding
way.
me.
That
2
guy-
hours.
Bald. There's the baby hosts this show. This is weird.
By the way, I do want to make one last comment.
Yeah.
Looking at your guys' videos back to back next to each other, it looks like you guys are sitting in the same room because the wall goes perfectly with Lucho's wall, it, like turns
Yeah,
and
it kinda does.
You okay?
Hold on. Let me just.
You all right?
Yeah, dude. I'm
Okay.
yeah, I'm all right. Thanks, man.
Lucho
All right,
looking the wrong way.
fist
I
bump?
can't tell because I'm.
Look
I
the
don't
other
have my
way.
fucking
Here, how about
video.
this? How about this? We do it this way, and then we do it that way. All right. Anyway, one of those will match up. But hey, so here's my thanks at the end of everything. Thank you, Al, once again for an even better show sheet this week. It just keeps getting better. Thank you, because it makes this so much easier. It makes my job much easier. I would say it makes Bruce's job much easier, but he's not the host.
He's been
anymore.
relieved of his duties.
He's not the host anymore. Not everybody. Can
This
be
is
a
what he
char-
gets. This is what he
There's
gets
like-
for hanging out with Rocco instead of us. I still don't get
How
it.
dare he hang out with his
What a
firstborn
weirdo.
son?
Luch, once again, thank you for being
I thought
here.
firstborn sons were only good for you, like betting them.
Yeah,
There's
and they're
something.
I mean they're really bad when the 12th plague comes around, but you know,
Oh yeah.
we're only in the first one right
Yeah.
now.
There's more to come though. Once again, Luch, thank
Don't
you
even
for
joke.
editing the last couple episodes when you weren't here. Thank you for just
The
being
segues too.
Yeah,
Segues are great. You do a great job, and we appreciate it because you had nothing to do with it. Thank you to the people who listen. Thank you to you guys as always for giving me something to do and look forward to on a Wednesday night. And hey, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. Just make sure you watch. Send in some fucking fan mail. All right.
Remember
See you
those fan
guys.
rankings, man.
Yeah.
Fan rankings next week. Open to bribes. Lucho's open to bribes. Alex is open to bribes. Bruce not open to bribes. He's just not.
He has a son. He can't do that.
No.
He can't. He can't do it. He's got too much integrity. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, comment below what your barbecue stuff would be, and we will see you guys next week. Happy hunting.
What are they hunting?
By the way, it is nice not having to like rush off this thing because the time's running out.